Today, we will recap the 2014 sci-fi movie The Giver, where a boy must risk his life to fix a world void of colors and emotions. The movie is set in a futuristic dystopian world. After a devastating war called The Ruin, a community was built where everyone was equal. There were no races, no colors, and no religion. People were restricted to one precise language with no words of emotion, and were given one code of attire. The lack of diversity and differences leads to no conflicts or confusion. However, this took away their freedom and their emotions. Jonas is a young teenager who rides his bike with his best friends, Asher and Fiona. The three discuss the upcoming graduation day, which holds great significance for them. Tomorrow at the ceremony, they will receive their designated roles and jobs in the community, which makes Jonas anxious. There is a limited set of roles that the graduating young teens are assigned, and they are to serve in that community under those designations. The trio visits the nurturing center, where newborns are cared for, and Jonas's father works there. They encounter a baby, Gabe, who is constantly crying. Fiona is naturally good with children and can magically calm down any crying baby with just a touch. Back home, Jonas has dinner with his parents and younger sister Lily. They discuss their daily experiences and routines. Jonas shares that he feels terrified about the upcoming ceremony. Still, his mother reminds him to choose his words carefully, as expressing feelings like fear or love is forbidden in this community. He asks his parents if they were anxious before receiving their current roles, fearing nothing might be suitable for them. His father assures him that the elders have been observing Jonas since he was an infant, ensuring they know where he belongs and will assign him a great role. The following day marks the ceremony, initiated with an introduction by the chief elder. She appears as a hologram since she cannot be physically present, but she recounts the events that led to the formation of the community. She then starts assigning the roles to the children. During the ceremony, Jonas notices an elderly man observing him. Asher is designated as a drone pilot, and Fiona is assigned to the nurturing center because of her skill in handling kids. However, Jonas's name is not called out until the end, when the chief elder finally addresses Jonas. She reveals that he possesses all four essential qualities: intelligence, integrity, courage, and the ability to see beyond, which led the elders to select him as the new receiver of memories. The crowd starts chanting Jonas's name for getting such a prestigious and difficult role. The next day, Jonas begins his private training. He is given some instructions for the training. He has to keep all the knowledge private, and he is even allowed to lie. All the members of the community are supposed to take daily health injections every morning, including Jonas. He trains with the elderly man known as the Giver, who imparts memories to the receiver. Jonas arrives at the Giver's house, situated on the outskirts of the community, The Edge, with a panoramic view. Inside, the Giver introduces himself and explains Jonas's training. He holds memories predating even the elders' recollections, dating back to before the ruin. The Giver grasps Jonas's wrists, transporting him into a memory of snowy woods, and Jonas riding a sled down a hill. Jonas feels excited, seeing his surroundings on the moving sled that finally lands before a beautiful cabin between the woods. Jonas is then brought back to the real world and demands to see more. The Giver takes Jonas on a walk and explains his ability to lie to people easily. Later, Jonas is at home when his mother inquires about his training. He efficiently lies to her without revealing anything. They are interrupted when a crying Gabe arrives at Jonas's home, brought by a nurse from the nurturing center. They are tasked with taking care of him for the time being until he catches up in his development. Lily loves the baby and wants him to sleep in her room, to which her parents agree. Jonas looks at Gabe's hand and sees a similar mark he and the Giver have. He feels a connection, believing one day Gabe will be chosen as a receiver of memories, just like him. Jonas relaxes under a tree and observes the colors around him when Fiona interrupts him. She senses something off with Jonas and asks him about his training. Jonas tries to share his memories with Fiona in the hope that she might also see colors but fails. The two are interrupted by Asher, who shares his experience of flying drones near the Elsewhere, describing it as mostly farmland with two rocks forming a triangle at the top. Asher tells them they are prohibited from crossing the boundaries across the triangle rock to the Elsewhere. Jonas suggests they slide down a slope of the building's stairs, using trays just like a sled. Asher refuses, fearing to break the rules, but both Fiona and Jonas have a great time doing the thrilling stunt. As they fall to the ground, Jonas helps Fiona get up, but a voice on a speaker interrupts them, saying they cannot touch people outside their family unit. In his next training session with the Giver, Jonas experiences a powerful memory of riding on a boat, a colorful vision. This memory is so strong that he starts to see colors around himself and the Giver outside his memories. The Giver explains that these colors, along with the associated emotions, can lead to conflicting feelings and problems in society, adding a sense of likeness and differences. He asks Jonas if he agrees that maintaining sameness is necessary. Jonas agrees, but also finds the beauty in what he has just witnessed, a colorful world. In the next few sessions, Jonas sees some beautiful moments. He experiences diversity, people of different colors, races, and ethnicities. He learns about religions and lifestyles, cultures, and different aspects of the diverse, colorful world. He experiences emotions of love and immense joy from witnessing the birth of babies. He sees different kinds of animals that exist in the world. He spends much time with the Giver, gaining knowledge and memories. The Giver tells Jonas that the world has happiness and pleasures to offer, which he has been witnessing. However, there is pain too, which is too much to handle. Jonas insists on knowing everything when the Giver gives him another vision. He sees an innocent elephant being shot by hunters searching for ivory. This makes him very sad. Later, when Jonas returns home, he feels heavy with sadness. He then hears Gabe cry and goes to comfort him. As he touches him, he unknowingly shares with him a memory of an elephant like the plush toy he has. Jonas sleeps and sees a vision of sharing a passionate kiss with Fiona under a tree. The next day, Jonas tells the Giver about what he saw and learns that it is a dream affected by his memories and emotions. The Giver also teaches him about the emotion of love, which is no longer discussed. Jonas inquires about love to his parents, but they just explain it in a formal, emotionless expression, claiming the word is an ancient term. Meanwhile, the Giver meets with the Chief Elder to discuss Jonas's training. The Chief Elder warns the Giver not to make the same mistake as with the previous receiver, who apparently harmed herself. She tells him to be careful with Jonas, who is inquisitive in nature and has many questions about the unknown world. In Jonas's next meeting with the Giver, they spend time playing music on the piano and talking about emotions. The Giver tells Jonas that the morning injections, everyone takes cause a loss of emotions. The Giver then shares another vision, a memory of a joyful party where people are dancing and having a wonderful time. After coming out of the vision, Jonas wonders why they are separated from emotions that are this beautiful and joyous. Later at home, Jonas dances with Lily happily when his mother interrupts in shock. Shortly after, the Chief Elder reaches out to Jonas through a hologram at his home to inquire about his training. Jonas has been repeatedly cautioned not to share details of his training, so he responds by explaining that he mostly sits quietly without engaging in conversation, and then returns home afterward. He then leaves without using the health injection. In his training session, Jonas sees the Giver on the ground trembling when he holds him and accidentally receives the memory. He sees horrific visions of himself in the position of a soldier whose partner is gunned down. The images overwhelm Jonas. He is unable to take it in and leaves the place. Later, Jonas meets with Fiona and tells her he is giving up on his role. He also asks her to skip her morning emotions numbing injection, once using an apple instead of the wrist, which goes unidentified. Fiona motivates Jonas not to give up and strikes a deal that she will skip an injection only if he decides to continue his training. He asks her to meet him the next day at the secret fountain triangle spot, hidden from cameras. Jonas returns to his training place, where he sees a vision of the Giver teaching a woman to play piano. He discovers that she is the previous receiver, a teenage girl named Rosemary. She was also deeply upset by the images she witnessed. The Giver reveals that Rosemary wanted to know about all emotions, but since she couldn't handle pain, she requested the Chief for her release. She was then sent to Elsewhere. Jonas is curious about Elsewhere when the Giver shows him a projection of his father and a nurse at the nurturing center caring for 2 babies. The nurse takes the healthier baby, leaving the father with a baby considered too weak. Shockingly, Jonas's father injects something into the baby's head, causing its death, then places it in a box sent into a furnace. Jonas is filled with horror upon learning about this practice known as releasing into elsewhere. Jonas meets Fiona at the fountain spot, where she reveals that she feels something intense in her. She also adds that she senses some unidentified attraction toward him. Jonas holds her hands and kisses Fiona for the first time. Fiona is surprised and clueless about what Jonas just did. She feels nervous but smiles a little, feeling good. However, she leaves without saying a word. Jonas returns home and learns from his father that Gabe was taken back and is supposed to be released to elsewhere since he didn't reach the maturity index. Jonas realizes that they are going to murder Gabe. During the night, he breaks the community curfew to find Gabe. Asher sees Jonas leaving and tries to stop him since he is breaking the rules. An argument happens, leading to Jonas punching Asher in the face. Jonas goes to the giver's place for help and learns that Rosemary was his daughter who was injected and sent to elsewhere. The giver tells him that everyone's memories can be restored once a receiver crosses the border of elsewhere to the real world. He gives him the map to the border and guides him. On the other hand, the elders keep a close eye on Jonas, but they lose track of him once he exits the community. Chief Elder inquires about Jason's behavior and watches all the CCTV footage of his physical interaction with Fiona. She then reaches out to the giver through hologram, asking whether he has seen Jonas. The giver lies about knowing where he is, even though the boy hides in the same room. Afterward, Jonas prepares to leave and take Gabe since his life is also in danger. The giver gives him more memories to provide the emotions of courage, strength, thrill, and motivation. He tells Jonas that he loves him before letting him go. Jonas successfully reaches the nurturing center, where Fiona assists him in getting Gabe. Together, they create a distraction that allows Jonas to escape with Gabe without being caught. Jonas jumps on a motorcycle to make their getaway while the guards chase him. Jonas successfully escapes the borders of the community, finding himself in an empty, deserted land. The elders gather to watch videos of Fiona helping Jonas and Gabe escape. This leads to Fiona being condemned for aiding Jonas. Tests are done, and it is revealed that Fiona hasn't been taking her injections. Chief also arrests the giver, realizing he helped Jonas with his escape plan. The chief elder calls for Jonas's best friend, Asher. As he enters the facility, he sees Fiona captured, who reminds him of their Friends Forever promise which the trio made a while ago. Chief Elder asks Asher to locate Jonas and Gabe on a drone. She then asks him to catch them and then intentionally lose them, which is to drop them from a height. Asher leaves on his jet and finds Jonas running through the desert. Jonas spots Asher's jet and begs him to listen to his side and understand the elder's actions, asking for Asher's trust. Asher doesn't listen and uses the jet's power to lift him. However, Asher secretly agrees with Jonas, and due to his friendship bond, he cleverly drops them into a river. This way, the chief's orders are obliged, and Jonas and Gabe are also saved. Fiona is brought into a chamber where Jonas's father is prepared to release her into elsewhere by injecting her. The giver, chief elder, and everyone in the elder community attend this moment. The giver begs Chief to stop this as he mentions Rosemary, declaring his love for her. On the other hand, Jonas walks for hours in search of the border on the map. He crosses the heated, deserted lands and reaches snowy woods. He constantly cares for the baby and refuses to give up. Jonas almost fails when he finds a sled in the snow. Just as Jonas's father is about to inject Fiona, Jonas and Gabe ride a sled beyond elsewhere's borders. This triggers a reaction, stopping Jonas's father and restoring all memories and colors to the community. People start to feel again, and they all shed tears. Jonas, nearly frozen and carrying Gabe, treks through the bitterly cold, snowy woods to find a cabin, the same one from the giver's memories. He thinks he hears people inside singing, though it might just be an echo. Regardless, Jonas recognizes that the giver guided him and Gabe there. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.